I feel very much lied to. I think Tulsans were lied to for political reasons, but we're going to pick up the pieces.
Tonight we're going in depth once again on Operation SAFE, SAFE being an acronym for Swift Action for Families Everywhere. Because as of tonight, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol says the cleaning up of homeless encampments along Tulsa Metro highways is finished. Now they are moving on from cleanup to enforcement, nearly 2 weeks after the project launched by the order of the governor. Tulsa Mayor Monroe Nichols and those who deal with area homeless in Tulsa, however, say those experiencing homelessness aren't experiencing it on the side of a road anymore. Instead, they're now just sleeping in your city parks, on city streets, and some are even flowing into Tulsa neighborhoods. At the close of business Tuesday, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol announced it was finished cleaning up homeless camps along highways in the city of Tulsa.
At my direction, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol and the Oklahoma Department of Transportation have launched a coordinated operation to clear homeless encampments in and around the Tulsa area.
Nearly 2 weeks ago, Governor Kevin Stitt ordered OHP to clear out all homeless encampments on state property only in Tulsa city limits. In that time, the governor's office says troopers and ODOT have removed more than 1 million pounds of debris. Fox 23 asked for a statement from the governor's office about the conclusion of the cleanup phase, but we did not hear back. The governor's office tweeted what the Highway Patrol already said. Their duties will now shift to making sure homeless people do not return to the cleaned out sites.
But we'll be back because we're going to go back and make sure that they don't set up again, and we're going to make sure that they're not going back to their same ways. And we may have to do that 2 or 3 times, but they will get the hint and they will be out of the city of Tulsa.
Tulsa Mayor Monroe Nichols says the actions have done nothing to actually decrease homelessness in the city of Tulsa. And he said it was now clear to anyone who drives around the city that many have now shifted to sleeping in city parks, city streets, and even moving into some neighborhoods.
It was a really chaotic, politically driven action that could have been done better with coordination with partners. I still wouldn't have been nuts about it, but we could have found ways in which we could collaborate. We didn't.
Nichols says despite OHP being ordered to offer people rides to resources or jail, no one has been booked into the Tulsa County Jail, and the nonprofits told him no one new has signed up for any new treatment program. Some people who were in programs have either lost their medications, lost their vital documents, or some have not even been to any of their appointments since the cleaning started.
Going about addressing the issue of encampments without any sort of collaborative support is very dangerous, very detrimental to the city, and we're seeing that. We have ER rates that are going up, so ER visits are going up, folks just seeking somewhere to go. We're starting to see more of the visible challenges associated with homelessness on our sidewalks and a lot of our city parks.
Nichols says the city of Tulsa will move forward with its own housing plans that include addressing how someone became homeless in the first place, instead of just addressing how they are living on the streets now.
I feel very much lied to. I think Tulsans were lied to for political reasons, but we're going to pick up the pieces. We're going to continue to stay focused on our goal to get into functional zero homelessness by 2030, our goal to get 300 people housed in the next 9 to 12 months.
Now tomorrow, Tulsa City Councilors will hold a special meeting Wednesday afternoon to assess where things stand now that cleanup has concluded. First, City Councilors will speak with the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, and then after that is finished, they will speak with area nonprofits about where things stand now. It is an open public meeting, and I'll bring you what is said tomorrow on In Depth. Meanwhile, in the city of Tulsa, it will officially be illegal to panhandle on narrow medians and high-speed areas. Tulsa Mayor Monroe Nichols signed the new ordinance, but when it comes to enforcing it, it will not be an immediate, heavy-handed thing. Here's what the mayor told us.
The median ordinance has been signed. We're going to be working the next 90 days to educate, issue warnings for folks before we start issuing citations. I'm going to ask the city council to do an evaluation of fines and fees overall to make sure that they're actually meeting the intended goal. The ordinance creates a $150 fine for sitting or standing on a median or sidewalk less than 18 inches from the road. This applies to roads where the speed limit is more than 25 miles per hour. Tulsa police will spend the next 3 months, once this takes effect, issuing warnings and educating panhandlers in the city as to where they can ask for money on Tulsa streets safely. And then after the 90 days, the approach will be a bit more heavy-handed. There have been threats of lawsuits by some civil rights groups who say panhandling is public free speech, but no lawsuits have been filed yet. The ordinance is set to take effect October 18th.
The people sleeping on the streets of Tulsa, or any Oklahoma community for that matter, are mainly struggling with mental health issues like addiction, illnesses of the brain, or they are also economically struggling to make enough money to pull themselves up and out of where they are now. Granted, there is a group of them who are happy living on the streets, but the ones who are helping these folks say they received no heads up about Operation Safe, no notice to prepare, and now they are even more packed to the gills than ever before.
On 316 mission, we've learned over 70 plus years that folks didn't become homeless overnight, and that it requires hard work and investment in people that we say are from our community, because they are. We say that they're our neighbors because they are. And so we need to invest what it takes to give them an opportunity to have their life back. That doesn't happen through sweeps and encampment cleanups. It's not a solution to homelessness.
Governor Kevin Stitt told me last week the state legislature will allocate more money for mental health to help more people struggling with things that make them homeless. But let's not forget, that financial ask is for an agency that, as we have reported on for many nights last spring, is a financial dumpster fire right now. The bleeding has stopped, but the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services right now is in the middle of its own major cleanup from a scandal. And so the services that people need have been caught up in a political scandal that surprised many state lawmakers last spring, and is something they will have to clean up once they return to Oklahoma City next year. Finally tonight, we don't know if OHP is heading to another city or not. We've seen, especially in Oklahoma City, where there are far more camps, that when enforcement stepped up in Tulsa, other cities began their own cleanup enforcement measures. So far, the governor has not announced if there are any cities next, but here's what he said last week when we asked if Operation Safe was headed elsewhere.
We're not foreclosing the the decision to go anywhere else in the state. Matter of fact, I have people just on Saturday. I went to the Oklahoma-Michigan game, and people from Muskogee to Norman to South Oklahoma City to downtown Oklahoma City have begged us to come help them. But we're also now seeing police in other markets go, hey, we better start addressing this homelessness issue and making sure that we're just enforcing the law. That's all we're trying to do.